Good morning and welcome back to Hot School. Hope you had yourselves a good recess. In today's lesson, we are going to be covering not one, not two, but three heroes simultaneously as we will be covering the Lost Vikings. Man, I am going to preface this already. I might have a heart attack before this game is over. So the Lost Vikings excel on 3-lane maps where you can soak a lot of XP, and you have the best way to play with the Lost Vikings is to have a 4-man that goes around and searches for ganks while the 3 Lost Vikings soak the XP out of the lanes. What they allow you to do is get such an XP lead that you will be talent tiers up on your opponents, and then you just kind of steamroll them throughout the rest of the game. That's what it is in theory. My luck, we're going to go against a butcher. And it's going to be ugly. So with that being said, let's get right into this shit show. I actually do like the Lost Vikings. I'm just not good with them.
Where will we end up this time?
Alrighty, so we find ourselves on the Infernal Shrines. So on the friendly team, we've got the Lost Vikings, Ariel, Hanzo, Blaze, and Cassia versus Tassadar, Diablo, Orphea, Illidan, and Lili. And the Lost Vikings are crazy, and I got mad props for anybody who can play them well. So our focus here is going to be trying to gain XP while they fight over the Infernals. Hopefully our team can move as a unit and make that happen while we try to stay safe. So we want to make sure that, especially initially, we aren't pushing our lanes too far forward onto the enemy's side. We want them on our side so we can be safer. We are going to be trying to micro between all 3 of our Lost Vikings and trying to control the lanes as best as we can. So, with that being said, so we're going to move him there. Him there. Him there. Oh, no, I have no idea how you do Cassia. Perfect. That's so good to hear. Actually, I want 2 there. I want to flip these around here. Okay, so at level 1, we're going to take Viking Bribery. So enemy minions that are killed near us are going to give us stacks of bribe, and we're going to go ahead and then use that to try to gain upgrade minions here. So we're going to go ahead and move our Olaf. Oh, wait. Okay, so we got it's 3, 1, 2. That's all I got to remember. 3, 1, 2. So you can control each of your Vikings by pressing one of the number keys. And that'll go ahead and switch you into that Viking, and you can go ahead and control them. Each one has their own kind of abilities and skill sets here. We're going to come up here, and we're just going to hide in a bush. We just want to be near enemies that are dying. We don't necessarily want to kill out waves. We will actually push it out here at the bottom. We'll come in here. So you have one that's essentially a tank, which is Olaf. He's got this big shield here. Go ahead and kind of come out here. We got our killed that minion wave. Oh man, we got kills. Okay, we gotta watch out for this Orphea, so we're gonna go ahead and move, what's a Swift? Eric the Swift from the top lane. No, don't come up here. So what we want is we want to be able to soak up as many minions getting killed wherever we possibly can. So we're gonna go ahead and help deal this damage here. We're just trying to soak up all of these kills around us that we can, so we can go ahead and get our bribe stacks. We're gonna go ahead and run. Deal a little bit of damage to that Illidan. So we're constantly going to be switching between them. It's going to be, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to say kind of what I'm doing. Hopefully you can at least just see what having a heart attack looks like for a grown man. At level 4, we're going to take Mercenary Lord. So this is going to allow mercenaries that are next to our Vikings to do more damage. So it kind of is going to help our ability to get these these waves pushed out. We're gonna try to help out here. Oh, no, now we're gonna run. We're gonna run. We can't help. We're gonna run him, put him there. All right, go ahead and control Eric the Swift. Kind of get up here. Kind of come up here. Step on back. Step forward. We're gonna step right here. We're just gonna sit him right there and soak up that XP. We're gonna go ahead and grab the sippy cup. Can't really. Ah. All right, so Orphea is still up there. She didn't head down. I didn't see her on the map, so I thought she headed down with the team, but she did not. We're gonna control Olaf here. And so we're just kind of trying to hop between them. In this case, we're gonna try to take out this minion wave here. We're gonna sit back here, let the towers kind of do some work as well. We're gonna go ahead and move Eric the Swift, put him back up into his lane. Got to move Olaf back. All right, we're getting these kills here. How many bribe stacks we got? We got what? We have to. Oh, okay, we have one stack. Sorry, I couldn't see it. I didn't see where I put it on there. So we only have the one stack. So we want to come up here, and once again, we're just trying to get in here to get these minion waves killed. And we want to kind of help out with this as much as we can. We're not really good at the old team fighting thing.
I don't know if this is safe. Eat my shield. Choose a talent.
I'm just kind of doing this here at level 7. Oh man, we are gonna take level 7. We're gonna take spin to win, which we using our Q ability is actually gonna give us a little bit of a damage capability here. Oh really? Go ahead and spin. Do a little bit of damage there. Just try to run from this whole situation. We're just going to back Olaf all the way out. And we're going to try to... Still, we're just trying to gain this XP with our bodies as the Vikings. So while they are doing this, we're trying to just keep our team in this with XP. And so we're just kind of switching between the different lanes, trying to make sure that we are contributing as much as we can in this regard. We have 3 stacks, so we're gonna go ahead and take Eric the Swift. We're gonna move him over to this camp here. We're gonna bribe this camp from behind our enemy. And so we'll get a camp pushing there. And we're gonna come back up here, make sure that we're getting that XP. Kind of come down here. They're pushing in, so we can't make sure. We gotta make sure we're careful for that whole team pushing this way. And we're gonna come up here, try to do a little bit of damage on this Lily. Do a little bit of damage on the Illidan. And we're gonna move Olaf up again. So now we're kind of in danger here a little bit, but it looks like we're going to get level 10 before our enemies, so we're doing a little bit good here. We're gonna take Longboat Raid, which is gonna allow us to pop all the Vikings into a boat and deal some damage like that. We're gonna go ahead and switch to Eric the Swift here momentarily. Actually, we're gonna back out because if that Illidan finds us, we're in trouble. So we're gonna back on out. We're gonna take Eric the Swift, Baylog, and move him out. We're gonna try to help out this. Try to help out Blaze. Just deal a little bit of damage here, and we're gonna go and get the XP from the mid lane. Dude, I'm doing both. We're gotta come back and be real standoffish on that Illidan. Illidan can just wreck a Viking, so we'll just try to push out these minions here. We're gonna run from this Illidan. Let them know that this Illidan is just having his way with the minions up here. Come up here, do some spin to win here. Try to take out this minion wave as much as we can. It's not going to be enough because Illidan is going to go ahead and clear out that fort unopposed. There's nothing we can really do about that. We let them know, but we didn't have the peeps to kind of to help out there, and we're losing this fight here. We're gonna bring our Vikings together, and we're gonna go ahead and longbow them, which is gonna allow us to kind of just push them off here. It deals a little bit of damage, so our longbow is our ult capability here. Not too much that we're gonna be able to do against the Orphea. All right, let's go ahead and pop them back. So as the Vikings, you don't give as much XP when they die, so that's the good part about being the Vikings. The bad part is, obviously, characters that gain from multiple hero deaths will gain that from each Viking. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna help take out this minion wave here. We need to back off. Oh man. Oh, so they had both of them there, and the ultimate feast is gonna obviously feast very well against all the Vikings. So we lost all of our Vikings. As far as XP generation, which is what we are doing, that's the thing. We're providing that for the team. We're just not providing much else right now. And our team, oh, they got a kill on Illidan, so that's a solid kill. At level 13. At level 13, we're going to take Jump. This allows us for our Vikings to have a little bit of sustain, a little bit of I don't want to call it an escape so much as it is. We're going to go ahead and get our Vikings split up again so we can go back and get to getting this XP. And we're coming down here. Try to once again get this XP going for us. Get that spin to win and it going there. Just kind of scare him a little bit. Get Olaf in there. People get scared. That's fine. I got them to push off of our Ariels, so I feel pretty good about that. And meanwhile, while that's going on, we're just going to go ahead and push this out here. And work on our XP generation once again. We took out that tower. And we're going to try to push this out as much as we can. And let's back up. We got Illidan here. We can try to run from him. That's the best thing we can do, really, honestly.
Our ally needs help.
Yeah, okay.
I'm on the...
And we're gonna just go ahead and evade out this Lily here.
I've got the bad feeling about this.
No, really.
Eat my shield.
And we're just kind of microing these guys here to just be taking out as much as we can.
Bring me food the food.
We don't really have a camp that we can get going. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and bribe this guy right here.
What's the plan?
Pillage, plunder, set things on fire.
Because with our Arcane Punisher just now going, we're gonna go ahead and bring our Vikings together to help defend on this as much as we can. At level 16, we are going to take Vikings attacks and reduce cooldowns of all Vikings. Looks like they're getting some kills up here, which is solid. Actually, since they're getting kills, let's go ahead and go back to doing what we do best, and that's getting XP. Let's push out this lane with these two Vikings as much as we can.
Where do you get these ideas anyway?
I'll deal a little bit of damage to this Lily. Let's scare her a little bit. We're not scared of Lily. I'm a little scared of this Illidan. And we're gonna lose both Vikings there, which is fine.
You have been slain.
Alright, come down here. And once again, just kind of working, making sure that we're getting as much XP as we can. That's the biggest contribution that we can provide to our team. And so we want to make sure that we are doing that as much as possible. We're gonna go ahead and try to get out of here. We're gonna die from Diablo. Not much we can do about that. Well, we got that minion wave, which was fine. With that camp, we were able to push down a tower and almost another tower, and we've been pushing on this bot here for a little bit. Nice, solid kill there on that Illidan. As you can see, XP-wise, we're doing the thing we're supposed to be doing. So the hard part with the Vikings is that it comes down to your team being able to basically fight 4v5. That's the really hard part about the Vikings. We'll try to actually bring them all together. Oh, it looks like they're all gonna die. And once again, we're just kind of doing this just to kind of get them off of us. So when we are in the longbow, we have one ability, which is that big shot that you see landing everywhere. Other than that, we have kind of our other ones. We're gonna go ahead and let's go get in the air, scare them off. Let's kill this Tassadar. Spin to win, not getting it done for us there. We're trying to save this Blaze. It's better that we die than obviously Blaze if it comes down to that.
You cannot hide from real life.
Back off, because the problem we're facing here is just the burst damage that Orphea can do to us from just her E. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's do some damage to everything here. Gotta watch out. See if we can get on this Taz.
What now?
My persistence is legendary.
Within the shrine, it will be made to serve.
Go ahead and get in the air to avoid a little bit of that damage there. Kind of coupling us back. Go ahead and pop into our longboat. And at least we're able at least to zone a little bit. Oh, Illidan comes from nowhere, getting the kill on Eric the Swift. Okay, we're gonna come up here. Oh no, that was Balog. I'm sorry. Come up here, try to get this XP, try to do the damage to this. We're not really able to really help out all that much against these guys. Ugh. As they're pushing in and we keep staggering our deaths as a team, which is making it very difficult for us to kind of push out any type of lane push. So even though we have been doing really well at getting XP, if we are staggering our deaths with the rest of the team, it makes it extremely difficult for us to keep that pressure up. I'd like to sneak by and get, more XP, just from the minions, but also because then that allows us to use our bribe more often, which is our way of kind of helping push for the team. However, right now the enemy team is kind of just going wherever they want, doing whatever they want. And if we keep giving them these cheap kills here, it's just gonna keep getting worse. So by these staggered deaths, I mean. Let's see what time we got on that. We got 2 minutes on their camp. 25 seconds on ours. We're gonna need to come down to the bottom here. We're gonna go ahead and use our mount ability, which is called Go Go Go. I hadn't been using it, kind of almost forgot we had it. His ability to run with the Vikings giving us 30% increased movement speed for a short time. And we're just going in here, just trying to do a little bit of damage, zone them out as much as we can. People get scared of the Vikings. And, I mean, we're not really doing a ton of damage or anything, but, any damage that we can be doing. Or go ahead and go invulnerable. Run! Well, we did our best to try to stay alive. We lost a Viking. Oh, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose more than one Viking here. And regen a little bit of health. This might be the end. Level 20, we are going to take, you know what, we're going to take Ragnarok and roll, which is going to allow us to hit 2 targets with our longboat whenever we have it up. Hey, we lived. So, I mean, he's absolutely right. We don't have level advantage with Vikings. Can't do a level advantage when the team has died a total of 30 times. So, there's not too much that we can do in that. Now then, let's go ahead and talk about some talents here.
MVP.
So, I mean, hey, look at that. We contributed almost 50% of our team's XP. So that's really what I was going to look at here, is we contributed almost 21,000 XP, which is quite a bit of XP, obviously. We led in siege damage for our team. You know what? Our hero damage was pretty meh. We could have done a lot better at microwing during the actual fighting that was going on, but with their Orphea, with her burst damage, just taking us out, taking out a Viking pretty much single-handedly with her combo, made it really difficult for us there. So. But that was pretty much what you want to focus on as the Lost Vikings. Obviously, some give and take there. We could have been more proactive after things kind of went south, trying to get our Vikings back in position to get that XP and to continue to get more pressure with our bribes. So. Going over our talents, level 1, we took Viking Bribery. This was just so that as enemies died near us, we could go ahead and get bribe stacks for every 40 stacks that we had. We could go ahead and instantly defeat a minion with a bribe, so we could get camps pushing for us. At level 4, we took Mercenary Lord. So friendly non-boss mercenaries near a hero deal 50% more damage. They gain 50 armor against minions and mercenaries, which reduced the damage that other minions and mercenaries did to them by 50%. So that's why when we were pushing at like the bottom lane with Eric the Swift, and then at the top lane, we were able to push into those towers because they were taking less damage from everything else that was kind of coming around them. At level 7, we took Spin to Win. This allowed us to have the Vikings to spin and deal damage around them. We used it several times, got in some decent damage here and there, but really where that really comes into bigger effect is when you have all 3 Vikings around one target, because that's a lot of damage coming out. Level 10, we took Longboat Raid. The other option is Play It Again, I think it is. And it allows us to respawn our Vikings. That is so if you're really good at Vikings, that's the one that you take, because you can respawn your Vikings and then you can go ahead and deal all kinds of damage and keep them in lanes longer and so forth. Level 13, we took Jump, which made all of our Vikings invulnerable. So we jump in the air for 1.5 seconds. It helped us get out of a couple little situations there. Level 16, Impatience is a virtue. So what this did is every time that our Vikings were damaged by every time our Vikings did a basic attack, it reduced the cooldown of all of our Viking abilities by 0.25 seconds. Why that was useful was we were able to then use Spin to Win more often. We were able to use our Jump more often as we needed it. Level 20, we took Ragnarok and Roll. The longboat would then target 2 targets at once instead of just 1, and it would increase the range by 100%. Now, we didn't really get to showcase that, but it is a sizable increase there at the end. As far as other talents that we could have taken, it just really kind of depends on what you're wanting out of your different fights. So at level 1, you can increase basically each tier pretty much for the most part has a talent that you can make one of the Vikings better. So like you can give Olaf physical armor, so he gains 75 physical armor after every 5 seconds, and it gets 2 charges. So if you're going against, a hard hitting hero, like even if it was like the Butcher, that's not too shabby. Spy games. So Eric the Swift gains stealth and increases his vision if stationary. That's a really good option as well because it allows us to kind of leave him somewhere and he can gain XP and you're not really having to worry too much about him. Explosive attacks allows that splash damage that Balog was doing with his sword, because his sword hit the first target and then splashed in kind of a cone behind it. We could do an additional 100% damage. So you can take Balog's attacks, heal himself, so you can further build into Balog being able to do damage. Eric the Swift and his move speed, and he can heal while he's running. And then it's a sabotage. So Eric's basic attacks against structures light them on fire for 10 seconds, causing 175 damage. That's more damage you can get on structures. However, I typically find in this tier, definitely Mercenary Lord is the better one, because in theory you have your mercenaries with you pushing, and that gives them more damage, and they're going to deal more damage than what you would deal in that short period of time as well. Level 7, you can once again make Balog stronger, increasing his attack speed more. Norse Force, you could go ahead and use that and gain a shield on all of the Vikings, which is pretty useful. I tend to find that spin to win is better, just because that's more damage that you can have to put out onto your enemy. At 13, Jump is typically the one that I see almost everybody takes. However, every now and again you'll see Nordic Attack Squad. It's a cooldown that you can activate to have all of your basic attacks deal bonus damage equal to 1% of a hero's maximum health for 5 seconds. So you take that and you just go ham on like a Blaze or a high health target, and you're doing 3% of their damage very quickly. And the Vikings attack pretty damn quick. So if for each one of them hitting, that's 1%. It can equal up pretty good. Same thing with Executioner. You could do if you have a team that's working together and your enemies are slowed, rooted, or stunned, basic attack damage is going to increase by 30%. Let's see. You can take the 64 kilobyte marathon, which makes your Z ability, so instead of your mount, the go ability, gain an additional 40% movement speed, so they move even faster and decays over 4 seconds. Also, it will break out of roots and slows. Then you could also take Large and in Charge. Charge stuns enemies, which is another solid upgrade if you're going against a team that has channeled abilities, because now you have a ability to interrupt that. And then at level 20, let's see. The checkpoint reached is a pretty solid one if you took Play Again, which revives your other Vikings as long as you have one of them alive. So after 10 seconds after Play Again, if they died again, they'd get revived again, and they're healed to full. You could do the sequel, which reduces the death timer for all Vikings by 50%, and then basic attacks chained to non-heroes as Fear of the Swarm. I know that was a ton of stuff that we didn't do in that video, but hopefully you got to see the Vikings playstyle is all about soaking the lanes. Now the Vikings excel when your 4-man that is not the Vikings are capable of holding down a fight or delaying the other team so that you can continue to push in the lanes. And in the beginning of that match, we were doing really well at that. We were able to hit level 10 before the enemy. However, as the match went on, our 4-man did not equal up to the 5-man that they were going against. And that's the problem with the Vikings, because it's really difficult to have the Vikings participate in battle because their health pools are so low, and you really just want to keep them pushing and getting that XP lead and just doing everything you possibly can there. If your 4-man, your 4-man doesn't even have to be strong enough to necessarily win every engagement. They just have to be strong enough to delay the engagements as much as possible. But what was happening with our 4-man in that match is we were losing a person, and then they would fight a 3 versus 5-man. And then we would lose a person as the 4th person was spawning. So then they would lose a person in a 3 versus 5-man. And it was just rinse, wash, repeat. That stagnant staggered deaths, and this is just a tip of basic advice for anything, but the staggered deaths is one of the worst things that you can have in a game like this because you're always fighting a man down. And when you're already a man down in a lot of cases, or 2/3 of a man down, however you want to look at it, when you're playing with the Vikings, you can't be that reckless in your fights. That's how you lose that XP advantage, which is what ended up happening by the end of the game. We lost the XP advantage because our team was not playing safe. But anyways, I digress. With that being said, guys, that is the Lost Vikings. I am not great with them, as you saw, but hopefully you guys got a little bit out of this video today. With that being said, you guys have yourselves a great rest of your day, and we will see you guys all next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more gaming content. It really helps me out. It doesn't cost you anything. Thank you again. Have a great